There's a not-so-fleeting decision, that of which is known to man. It's a decision as important as maintenance and as timely as delivery. It's the middle ground between seamless operations and unexpected downtime, between efficiency and delays. And it lies between the pit of repair costs and the summit of shop profit. This is the decision of risk management. It's an area which we call the tipping point.
You find yourself at a crossroad. Has your truck exhausted its duty cycle, or is it still worth investing in? This common intersection has a lot of managers asking which direction they should take. As a truck ages, the cost of maintenance may start to outweigh the benefits of continued use. In situations where businesses need to determine the optimal time to retire their trucks, they might consider seeking assistance from fleet management providers or exploring the potential of leasing vehicles. Evaluating a truck's operational efficiency and determining when it may no longer be cost-effective to keep it in service can be different for not just every fleet or application, but every truck. According to Fleet Advantage, a provider of fleet data analytics, equipment financing, and lifecycle cost management services, leasing is becoming a more commonly chosen option for businesses looking for flexibility in the management of their fleet. The study found that 42% of survey respondents opted to lease their trucks. So, should you lease or should you buy? That's the question all fleet operators seem to be asking themselves. Perhaps Brian Antonellis, Senior Vice President of Fleet Operations for Fleet Advantage, can shed some light on why leasing might be a viable option.
When you buy a truck, you're kind of stuck with it, right? If you run up 350, 400,000 miles in the first couple of years, you have very few options of what to do with that piece of equipment, except for keep it for a long time and run down the book value. So I think leasing provides that flexibility. And when you're truly looking at understanding the individual drivers of cost, it's going to be important that you have an out, right? Beginning, an early exit, or an extension to allow you to act upon the data that you see.
It's important to note that prior to the pandemic, retaining a vehicle for 6 or 7 or maybe even 8 years was not only prevalent, but customary for the majority of fleets. However, with COVID-19 compelling companies to reevaluate their financing strategies and start operations from scratch, the conventional approach has evolved. Consequently, numerous organizations are now deliberating on vehicle tipping points and opting for shorter life cycles to curtail the repair expenses and enhance productivity. This consideration is also a result of supply chain shortages, which make it harder to obtain the parts needed to keep the trucks in optimal condition. Analyzing insights can help you figure out which path would be most beneficial to your operations and pocket. But when it comes to data, it's undeniable that the amount of information available is vast, and determining which datasets hold the greatest relevance for your life cycle decisions can often feel like a challenging game of trial and error.
Fleets today are absolutely swamped with data. Most large fleets have maintenance software systems that will give you, every repair, every line item. They have ELD devices and onboard computers that tell you where you've gone, how many miles you've run, right? How heavy you were when you ran those miles. What part of the country you were in when you ran them. And I think that when you talk about flexibility, companies need help today taking all that data and saying, what is the offering from the OEM? What is out there in the marketplace? What is our data that we've collected telling us? And how do we put that into a sort of a roadmap for what the next 1, 3, and 5 years look like?
Running a truck for a full life cycle may be the way to go in some cases, but at what cost? No, really. That is the main question here. We can't really give you that answer, but speaking to your fleet financial advisor of choice could help you determine your tipping point and where to go from there. For more trucking and equipment content, head over to the Fleet Equipment site at fleetequipmentmag.com. See you next time.